Hey, how's it going everybody? My name is Drew Creal, and in this video I'm going to show you 5 absolutely crushing metal tones from the Yamaha THR. So stick around, we're about to get into it. Alright, so I've officially put on the proper attire for such a video. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I have everything set up. I've got the THR plugged into my computer via USB, and I've got the THR remote app open, and I'm doing a little screen recording on there. And I have mic'd up the amp so you can hear kind of like what it would sound like in the room to a certain degree. And then I've also got it hooked up in the back with left and right out. So I'm also recording in stereo, which won't really have that big of an effect over the sound quality because we're talking about metal tones. We're not talking about like stereo delays or anything like that in this video. But that's how I'm recording, and I just wanted you guys to know that. So I'm going to talk first about my favorite heavy guitar tone. And this is one that I just called Gent, and I'm using the modern sound on the amp. So I've got modern in there, and I'm on the high gain mode. I'm not on the special mode, and that sounds kind of like this. That's my personal favorite heavy tone that this amp has, but what I wanted to do today is just kind of sit down and do some tweaking and show you guys kind of how this works. So let's check it out. Let's change the cabinet on that just so you can hear what some of the other speaker cabinet offerings are. So let's check that out. So that's the brown cabinet. To me, that's like the best sounding high gain speaker cabinet simulator on here. The British 412, which I guess would emulate some Celestions, sounds a little darker. It's not quite as bright sounding. So okay, the American 412, that's probably not going to be a vibe at all. Nah, not really into that. Here's the brown again. And I'm just making up all of these riffs on the spot. So if you hear something you like, go ahead and feel free to take it. All right, moving on to tone number 2. I'm going to take a look at this thing that I have it entitled Fusion Solo in here, but really we can make this whatever we want for today. So we'll call this Brutal 2. And I'm really curious to see what special and modern sounds like. Let's check that out. Let's give it all the gain that it's got. It's like super compressed sounding. All right, we turned the compressor off there. it's almost too nasally and compressed for me, but I think this is kind of like Yamaha's take on the Gent tone. Let's take some of the mids out and crank the treble and see if we get some cool effects off of that. So pretty sick. What I'm going to do now is save all of my, let's back up the THR, continue, THR wireless, this is March, let's say 12, 20, 21, back up. Okay, so I just wanted to back that up before I start changing all of my sounds, so. But let's hear what happens when we change the speaker cabinet on here. So that's a great alternate tone, and I think if you recorded like a track like this and then a track with the other heavy tone that I had, I think that would make for an awesome combination of sounds. Usually that's what I do when I'm tracking something that's heavy, is I'll record one guitar tone on the right side and then a different guitar tone on the left side. And there's really no reason to quad track, in my opinion, because what I try to do is make both of those guitar tracks sound as fat as possible with whatever processing I need to. But that's how I record guitar. You know, especially with heavy stuff, is just one track on the left, one track on the right, and I just roll like that. So, so this would be a good one. It's called Brutal number 2. So we'll actually save that to number 2. And I would just wanted to say really quick, the modern special on the Juicy the mods cabinet is awesome for lead, and then you just add your effects here, and it's a great lead tone. I use that one all the time when I'm practicing and stuff like that, when I'm jamming. All right, moving on to extremely brutal tone number 3. Let's do more of a classic kind of metal sound. So right now I'm on preset number 1 on this thing, and that's not brutal at all. So we're gonna turn that off. We're gonna go to high gain, and let's try the British 412, and we're gonna turn the compressor off. We'll keep the noise gate on. We'll turn the echo and the reverb and the chorus off, and we'll check this out. So let's get a little bit more volume here. I'm gonna lower this down, and I'm gonna add some more mids and gain. And let's play some like Iron Maiden sounding stuff. So that's a pretty nice sound. Let's change the name of that to classical gas. I'm just kidding. Classic metal. Okay, and we'll save that to preset number 1. So that's classic metal. So once I get a sound that I like, I'm just going through and I'm saving. There's the Brutal 2 from earlier, and then there's our Gent number 4. Okay, so we've got the classic metal. Let's put the compressor on. That actually sounds great. Let's try a different speaker cabinet. Let's try the American 412. It's too fizzy, man. Way too fizzy. Okay, so very cool. I like that. Let's try the vintage 412. You know, so a little bit of AC/DC for the dads out there. Yeah, that British one has some good bass response in there. Let's see what happens if we click on Boutique here. Man, the thing that I don't like is that it automatically changes your speaker cabinet. That's not cool. Let's go back to my British. High gain, gain all the way up. This is more for like a blues. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Other thing I'm noticing is that the cabinets are sort of set to different volumes. So, all right, let's get 2 more tones going. Let's try using the lead one here, and let's go with Boutique and see what that sounds like. That's not heavy or brutal at all, even with everything cranked. Yeah, it's more of like a low gain kind of blues thing. Even when I change the cabinet. Let's see if we can't get some more gain. I actually really like this tone, and I think it is probably more usable than people might think. But this kind of reminds me of like lower gain, early 2000s, like metalcore, hardcore kind of sound. You know, this doesn't have that throaty, fully gained up sound. I actually really like that. It's a different kind of thing. I mean, if you're gonna double track that, by the time you get that second track on there, that's plenty of gain right there. Yeah, that's a cool riff. usable tone, very usable tone. I'm gonna call this one early. I'm gonna call this one hardcore. Cause you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore, man. All right, so for this last one, I think I'm gonna go for like advanced gent. Like, what's the tone of the future that the alien race is gonna use to play their symphonies? Let's check that out. I'm gonna turn the compressor off for now. We're gonna go straight modern, and we'll start at high gain and see how that sounds. And so here's our starting point. We're gonna call this advanced gent, and it's pretty cool. I'm not totally in love with it yet, but let's mess around with these different cabinets. Let's try them all. Man, the top end is really strange on that one. Nope. Bye. Pretty convincingly awesome. I think that might be the one right there. I'm not gonna mess with these 212s. Are you kidding me? Let's try one. Let's try one. It's like we went to a gig at the kid's birthday party with that one. Let's go back to this one. That's pretty sick. We haven't even tapped into the special thing. Ooh. Wow. That's heavy. I think I like the juicy. I think I like the juicy one the best here. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you enjoyed trying out some different tones with me on the THR. I think this amp has a lot to offer, especially in terms of convenience and ease of use. And hopefully you got some new ideas on how to create some really awesome heavy tones. Make sure you like and subscribe this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.